Hello. I hope everybody is doing well. In this video I'll be showing how to carry objects, move them around, like that. I already published a video about this, but I had some problems with that, so I wanted to update you on a better method I found, which is a built-in method. So let's go start. Now, I'm going to create a new blueprint class. It's going to be a player controller, BP new PC, let's say, new player controller. And you don't need to use your player controller. You can add this to your character, or it doesn't matter if this is going to be a touch screen, if it's going to be a cursor, if it's going to be first person or third person. This is always going to work. So let's get rid of the begin play. And basically we're going to need a physics handle. So add a component and type in physics handle. Click on that. And after you do that, I want to create three functions. I'm going to call them start carry, stop carry, and update carry. Update carry. Okay, so let's start with start carry. Now basically what I want to do, before we do that, variable, add a variable to check if we are currently carrying anything. It's carrying, it's going to be a boolean. So before we start carrying, we want to check if we are carrying anything at the moment. If we are not, then get hit result under cursor. You have to use this if you're using a cursor, or you can, let's say, use a line trace. If it's a first person or third person game, you can use a line trace towards the middle of your screen. But for now, I'm just going to use the cursor. I'm going to break hit result. I'm going to get the component here. I'm going to check if it is simulating any physics. So because I don't want to grab anything that isn't simulating physics. So if we're not carrying anything, check if the component is simulating physics. If it is, we're going to get physics handle. We're going to grab component at location. Okay, so if it's simulating physics, if it's true, grab component. And which component are we going to grab? We're going to grab the hit component. So plug that in there. And we also need to get world location of the component. Plug that in there as well. And after we grab the component, we're supposed to set is carrying to true. Okay, now we're done with the start carry. Let's go to stop. So what this is basically, we're going to get physics handle. We're going to get grabs component. We're going to check if it is valid or not, meaning if we have anything, if we're carrying anything or not. If it is valid, we're going to release component, which is attached to the physics handle. And after we do that, we're going to set is carrying to false. So we're done with that. Now, update carry. So this is basically going to be each tick, or you can set a timer for this. So after you start carrying, this is going to go in. This is going to start changing the location of the object. How are we going to do this? Let me just think. So we're going to first check if his carrying is true, because we don't want to change anything's location if we're not carrying anything. If it is true, we're going to set target location of the physics handle. And the location we want is basically it's under the cursor, or the middle of your screen, or under your finger. So I'm just going to get hit result under cursor. Sorry. Get hit result under cursor by channel. And I'm going to break that. So break hit result. and I'm going to get the location. And before I do that, I need to split struct pin because I don't want to get the z value, so I'm basically filtering it out. I'm just going to use the x and y. I'm going to split struct pin here as well, and I'm going to connect the x and y values. Now what I have to plug into the z is get the physics handle, get grabbed component. We're going to get the world location, and we are going to split struct pin here as well, and get the z value and plug that in. So that should be it for the functions. Now in the events graph, I want to, you have to plug in an input. So what I'm going to use is left mouse button. If it's pressed, I want to check if there's anything to carry, and if there is, it's going to start carrying. And then when I release it, I want it to stop carrying. And update carry. So normally I wouldn't use event tick. It's not the best method. What you can do is after you check if it's carrying, if you're carrying anything, you can set timer by function name. You can plug in the update carry function name here, and when you're done with the updating, you can just set timer, clear and invalidate timer by handle. So once you stop carrying this, you can just do that, and it should be okay. Just for now, I'm just going to use the event tick. So let's check it out. Let's plug in our player controller from the world settings to be our new player controller class. And let's see if it's working. Yep, looks fine, but it's not showing my mouse cursor. Let's go back in. Okay, from the class defaults in your player controller, you have to check show mouse cursor, and that should be okay. All right, and just a little bonus, you can click on physics handle. There's a bunch of sliders here. You can adjust how your object moves. So let's say I set the interpolation speed to 10. It's going to come behind the cursor. It's going to be a bit more slower, as you can see. Alright, so that was it. If you find the video helpful, subscribe and like the video, and have a good night.